Then what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
From loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're going to give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm going to let you keep your hand.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous? That is a nondescript and not probably the right word to describe what you really are feeling.
Mostly peaceful.
Oh, trepidatious, maybe?
That's a high IQ word that is above my pay grade.
Well, they're probably a Polish equivalent, you know. Like he has the tummy rumblies, I think. Welcome, Hannah Claire. Very, I had a black shirt on before, and then I was like, I'm gonna take a shower before the show, and then no, we don't match.
Jeremy, it's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, there's so many options during the week for us to match. It's nice that you stand out. I always get told I'm boring, that I wear all black all the time. So a pattern is probably good for the show. Gives us personality.
Very emo of you, but I would expect some flannel. I would expect the opposite situation to be true.
Yeah. Oh, are you calling her a lesbian or what?
No.
I think she's pretty clearly not a lesbian.
Not a lesbian. Can confirm. I will break out the flannel come the fall. I mean, it's not quite cold enough yet.
Oh, I have so
she's
much.
She's the hill folk. She's a part of the hill people, right? You know.
Yeah, but I'm a poser. I'm not native.
Oh, yeah, that is true. She is a hill person. So is Tim, though. Tim's in the hills, and he has not adopted their attire. I would love to see Timmy in like a classic brawny man, red and black flannel. And like
I want to see
just
a trucker
beanie.
hat. I want to see a flannel beanie.
No, he's got to put that ball cap on, and it's got to have like grease on it. You know, like it's got to be, can't be a brand new hat. The brim can't be straight. You know, it's got to be an old hat he gets from a secondhand store. And
I feel like you own the Brawny Man shirt. I mean, you are from lumberjack territory, from what I understand.
Yeah, but when you're built like me, you don't really wear flannels. Like
you're wearing flannel now.
It's a flannel pattern, but it's a short sleeve shirt. Like I'm never cold. I wear shorts all winter, every day in the winter. Even
assistant to the Tool Man. You remember
Al Borland? Yeah,
that's you.
I don't think so, Luke.
That's you.
Yeah,
you are Al Borland.
Yeah, even when I'm like plowing the driveway, I like shoveling driveway, wear shorts.
Handy, Mr. Reliable. That's literally you, man.
I love that, actually. I will take that as he was always the guy, you know.
Complimenting you and not insulting you?
Yeah, that was
he was the uptight anal retentive. Hold on there. I can't give him that much there.
Oh, yeah.
We're too serious all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's chat's asking if any of us are going to Charlie's funeral. No, I don't think so. Look, if Turning Point
could afford private security, that would be nice, but
exactly, like
we're not there.
I talked
I
to.
think if you live in the area and you can attend, that's great. It's just not an option for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bomb threat at TPUSA like 20 minutes ago. Like the bomb squad's there. So like,
and there's people literally dressing up as the shooter, kicking over the memorial outside of the TPSA headquarters. So obviously, if you're like a little bit of a personality, like the Z-listers that we are, even then you're still kind of a target. And if there's like a leftoid that wants to create violence, it's like, okay, let's get another figure. Even though it's a Z-lister, let's just get him anyway.
I don't care about security so much as like, I talked to Luke about this privately. Like, if somebody at TPUSA reached out and was like, hey, we have like this thing set up where like you can have access in like a little more secure area, then I would go like 100%. Like kind of at the RNC was. Although the security at the RNC, I never felt more safe in my life. The RNC was crazy high security. Like there was I was not worried at all. But like,
well, this was after Trump got shot at.
Yeah. Like if they have similar levels of security at the TPUSA event, I mean, I'm not concerned, but it's really a money thing too. Like it's expensive to fly on short notice. Yeah. If I could fly there, or I mean, if I could drive there, I would be there 100%. I thought maybe if they stream it, I would stream it and like we could watch it together. I don't know.
It's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll stream it. So I'll probably just stream. Now, listen, if anybody at TPUSA wants to fly me out, I'll be there 100%, but air travel's
I think
not
it's hard. I'm sure a lot of people want to pay respects, but like you can't make it. It's not like that we aren't grieving.
There's going to be 25,000. I probably couldn't even get in.
Yeah.
There's going to be 25, 30,000 people from Arizona area alone that are going to show up there. Like, I don't even know if I could even get in. So that's the other thing. Like, are there other spots even still available? I don't know. But listen, TPUSA, I texted Benny. I figured he had some connections there. I was like, hey, I want to go, but like, can I even get in? What's security like? What's whatever like? He never replied. So, I mean, he's busy. I don't mean to say that to like shade him, but
but ditto for whatever you're saying. How was your Tuesday nights? What'd you guys do?
I went and saw The Conjuring, the last Conjuring movie. It was mid.
How many are there?
I mean, in the main storyline, 3, but then there are many offshoots like Annabelle and The Nun, I think was one of theirs.
It's like a horror movie multiverse. What is this?
It is. Well, it's not really a multiverse. It's all the same universe, but there's like mainline story movies and then like movies that are like technically not mainline story, but technically you could like you wouldn't like you would want to watch the first, second, and third in order to understand the first, second, and third. But you can watch any of the other offshoots and it doesn't matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
it kind of is.
Yeah, the first movie, I forget what that's called. The second movie's called The Devil Made Me Do It. And then the third movie's called, I think, The Last Rites or something like that. And so like there are many callbacks in the final movie to the second and first movie that you would not understand if you didn't watch it.
Okay. Luke, are you a horror movie guy? I feel like I never know this about you. Do you watch horror movies?
Like the bad juju.
He doesn't like it. Yeah.
I'm with you. I get that.
But like some of the more psychological ones, like I recently watched It.
Yeah.
I was like, it actually has somewhat good storytelling, and I was like, I kind of like that one.
Which version? The new one or the old one?
Both, actually. I watched the first one. And I was like, this is kind of good.
Yeah, I thought the remake held up. I thought it was better in some ways.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. I was like, whoa, they actually put a lot of effort into this. They actually tried, which is like rare.
Yeah.
It is Stephen King, right?
Yeah, they also conveniently left out the child gang rape scene that Stephen King wrote about. It was not in either movie, I don't believe.
That was probably on request of Mr. Epstein.
Well, I don't know if it wasn't gang rape. I think it was a bunch of kids having sex.
Gross.
13-year-olds or something, like 12 or 13-year-olds like having sex. I don't remember. I never read the book, but people said that. I remember when I was in like, we'll talk about the news here in a second, but I remember when I was like, I thought it was like a big deal to rent or borrow, take a book out of the library, like a Stephen King book. She was like, ooh, you know. But then I remember it was like this thick, and I would check it out, and I would just be like, I'm not gonna fucking read this. So like I would never even start. I'd be like, there's like I was thousands of pages, and I was like, nah.
You just carried it around to like look like you were reading it to prove a point.
Yeah, not necessarily, but I felt like a badass, like checking out scary, because my parents would take me to the library. I was fifth grade reader of the week. No big deal. You can look up the newspaper clippings. But if
somebody can find that newspaper clipping, I will pay you top dollar Monopoly money.
I know for a fact my mom has it. But then they also rented CDs at the library. So then I would get like, my parents wouldn't let me buy CDs unless they would like vet them. Mm-hmm. And
your parents are so wholesome. I love it.
But they never gave a shit if I checked it out from the library. And so I would like, so it was weak. It was weird. Like it was a weird like loophole. Yeah.
I guess the library surely wouldn't have anything that they wouldn't approve of. I don't know.
Yeah, that was probably the implication. You know.
Unfortunately, that's not true. Some libraries are awful these days, but not a horrible strategy probably when you were growing up.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's what I did last night. Hannah Claire, I'm sure you did mom stuff.
Oh, and, I am mom stuffing all the time. I'm actually in the process of trying to. Yeah,
Zoom.
You know, I don't want to be a part of this joke. Actually, I withdraw my affirmation. I'm like preemptively trying to think of what my kid is going to be for Halloween. So if chat has any recommendations,
pumpkin, make him
ladybug or pumpkin. Those are classic. Yep,
they are
ladybug,
classic.
Pumpkin, classic baby bumblebee. That's classic.
My husband is like the Halloween person in our family, so he's the one who officially, makes the decision. But it's like first Halloween, you got to go big or go home, I think.
Well, I think you could also take a little like skin safe marker and etch this. You could have you wouldn't do that. But I was like, you could put the baby from The Omen had the mark.
I don't know that one, so I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he had like a birthmark. That would be like a. That would be like a.
I dress my child as a demon.
Well, the devil, but the
I want a Christian of you.
Yeah, I don't think Melanie would approve of me telling you to put 666 on your kid's head, but
yeah, no, thank you.
That's probably a little.
But we're brainstorming. I get it. It's creative.
Yeah,
we're all
I went from Bumblebee
options.
to Damien, but.
Again, I hope you have twins one day, and then you have one Bumblebee and one whatever that thing is.
It would be a flower, obviously. You have to twinify
Fifth
all
match.
things. Yeah.
That's
you have to, yeah. I mean, remember, I grew up a twin, so
yeah. So you must have been like, the whatever, the fireman to the Dalmatian kind of thing.
Well, kind of. We were we were fraternal, so it was like
it was harder.
Yeah, like, it was. We were often dressed as like whatever the popular thing was at the time. So it'd be like He-Man and whatever Polly Pocket or whatever the hell, like kids would do. Yeah, real cute. I think my parents just let me dress up as like whatever I wanted. So they like.
There's like an age with kids that they like get an opinion, but mine is like doesn't sit up yet, so she doesn't get to vote.
Yeah, Bumblebee or Ladybug. That's it.
Pumpkin.
Like, or pumpkin. A pumpkin would be cute. Yeah, it's like is like she probably has some of that baby chub still, so it might be kind of cute. Like like just a roly poly. Let's talk about some of this stuff. I wanted to. I've got a story that I saw and it has Hannah Claire's name written all over it, but I don't know if I should save it for Astrocast because it's pretty good. But
someone's reporting that the State Department might be prioritizing and streamlining green cards for Indian immigrants now. I don't know if that's true. But
thank God, we need more of them. Yeah, I mean, geez, finally.
Boo.
Shit. Yeah.
There's no time for sarcasm, Jeremy.
Yeah, sorry. Finally.
I want Dark Jeremy to respond to this.
Oh. Fucking.
Sorry, I'll let you introduce whatever story you're interested in because I'm sure people want us to get to the news.
Well, I had the story of Matt Gutman, who was trying to make the Troon love story. Like he was covering the news. He's like, it was really heartfelt and blah, blah. I'm like, my brother in Christ. You're talking about a guy that assassinated somebody and his troon, furry, porn-addled boyfriend. This is not this is not a love story.
He's saying that the text exchange where Tyler Robinson confesses to his boyfriend about murdering Charlie Kirk was very touching. Sir. Yeah. What?
Yeah, no, yeah, sir.
It was such a weird conversation. I don't know if you guys I listened to the full-on conversation.
Was he just trying to vamp or what? Well,
listen. This is my kind of conspiratorial take on it.
Hold on that thought, because that's the next topic. That's our meat topic. You're going to talk about whether or not the conversation's real and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. I'll tee you up. I promise. This guy
ready to go.
Yeah, that's kind of the meat of it, because I have some thoughts on it too, but I'll let Luke run on that. So he says, yesterday I tried to underscore the jarring contrast between the cold-blooded assassination of Charlie Kirk, a man who dedicated his life to public dialogue, and the personal disturbing text read aloud during the Utah. Let there be zero doubt here. I unequivocally condemn. He just doesn't want to get fired. Mm-hmm. He said it was, let me just find the actual clip, because he calls it romantic.
It was very touching. That's how he described it.
Oh, very touching. As if
we're emotionally sympathetic to these two people.
We have
great hair. I got to talk to his hair guy.
Seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship.
Literally nothing about it was touching. What? It was just him spurging out about the murder. It wasn't even
I etched the names of this in the bottom. I'm like, what? Why are you saying that randomly?
Yeah,
it's weird. It's the gunman used the term "my love," and so therefore we're supposed to be like, but they're young lovers. It's okay. Reject all of that.
Bloodthirsty murderers. Listen, liberal women love murderers. That's why they love Luigi Mangione, and they're self-obsessed with all this murder adult content type of stuff out there, which is super weird. That's why crime dramas are so big with the female demographic.
Yeah, there's a dark undertone there. They're turned on by it.
Probably had a bunch of estrogen injected through his hair tips, right? This guy's probably a little bit more feminine, as he looks like, right? So he's probably feeling the more female ethos.
He's jerking off to inflation porn, by the way.
Yeah,
the shooter.
He's feeling his hormones, which are probably more feminine. And he's like, oh,
yeah, that way,
yeah. He bathed in blood. They literally bathed in blood, and I'm like, these sick, vicious monsters.
Yeah, someone in chat said Charlie Kirk's death is not the backdrop of a gay romance novel. Yeah, I mean, agree. Mm-hmm. Hey, somebody just super chatted. Hey, Rumblers, join the Quartering Discord. There's a member section, but there's also an open section. The member section is better. Yeah, that's right. Get in there. We're really close to reaching critical mass.
Cool.
Go to thequartering.com/join. We've been adding 5 or 10 new people a day. I'm hoping today we can get 50 or 100, because now when I logged in there last night pretty late, and there were people in there chatting actively in different rooms about different things. And so it was really cool. So if you want to be the first to hear about the news, I heard about that bomb threat through the Discord. So if you want to you can join, you can talk about horror films if you want, but you don't have to. According to Discord has been hacked. Yeah, I know. It's the only tool that really works with these membership paygate things. I mean, unless I wanted to code my own solution, which nobody would want. And I mean,
Telegram's pretty good too. I like Telegram.
Yeah, but can you make it a members only thing?
I do. Yeah, it's invite only.
But once they're invited, then
they can't invite anybody else.
No, I know, but if you get invited once and then they cancel their membership, they're forever in there. This actually purges people who aren't active members. But yeah, that's the next best would be Telegram. Yeah. President Balls, shout out President Balls. Jeffrey Dahmer also had a touching conversation with his boyfriends before he ate him. That's true. Yeah. He's not. So I hear it wasn't the Jews. That's not true. Everyone knows it's the Jews. I kind of popped off a little bit of that last night. I'm just so sick of it. There was Normal opinion says, I enjoy Dark Jeremy too much. The content is great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's some spicy ones up today about the blacks. So that video's gonna be...
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think I titled it "Black People" or something. It's a little spicy. But
look, it's been a long week for Jeremy. He's
I
trying
stared
to keep
into
up
the
with
abyss
news.
a little too long. So I went and saw.
It's the 1 week anniversary. So
Yes. Oh, that's true. It is.
Grief usually works in very weird ways.
Yeah.
But also, this is just apparently who Jeremy is.
And there's multiple emotions that people go through. Sometimes they go through anger and rage, and it happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm going through like kind of this thing where it's like I find it really disrespectful that like this is my take, not anyone else's. I know people in chat are gonna be mad about it, and that's okay. This is just how I'm feeling. I may change my mind down the road. I may evolve my opinion, but like I'm seeing a lot of this. Like Charlie Kirk told me this personally. It just so happened to align with my current narrative, and I never said anything about it until now when he's dead. It's like it just feels gross. Like Charlie was my friend, and he confided in me in this thing that completely fits my narrative, and like I'm only now talking about it now that he's dead and can't refute it. Like that shit is fucking gross. And if you think that's okay, just because you like the target of those people, like we just disagree on that, and that's okay. Like I think Razorfist had a pretty good text about it. Like he wrote, I think this was a pretty good subtweet. I don't know how much he tweets, so maybe he. Oh yeah, Charlie Kirk told me his favorite movie is Pootie Tang. Sorry, I waited till he's dead, buried, and voting Democrat to say anything. Fortunately, I have no ulterior motive in saying this. Like that's how a lot of this feels from a lot of people. Yeah. It doesn't make what they're saying wrong. It feels
I watched
weird.
Pootie Tang in the movies.
I saw it in the theater. Yeah,
in the theater too.
Movie. Yeah,
and
terrible
I'm like,
movie.
What the hell? Now I think there's a difference. I mean, I think some people are just running with circumstantial evidence as absolute conclusion that everything was going on here. I do think some of this stuff matters. I do think what Roger Stone is bringing up is important.
Yeah, but there's a time and a place for everything. That's all. Like the guy's not even buried yet. Like, can we wait a week? Is there anything coming out about?
But I think at the same time, it's
retreat?
also very disrespectful for like BB and Shmuley to come out and make it all about themselves regarding his death too.
I agree, 100% agree.
And I think it's a direct response to them, and maybe that's not the best response at this particular time here, but that's the discourse that we're in, sadly,
Yeah, well, I worry about it distracting. Like somebody tweeted this, and it's better written than I could have written it. Where is it? I think I retweeted it, and of course, people are mad. But like I said, I'm begging, Nate, pleading for the anti-Israel conservatives to shut the fuck up. We're in the middle of winning a decades-long culture war, and some of the right's biggest influencers are doing their damnedest to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Over what? The same old Jews control the world nonsense, once parroted by Klansmen in the daytime talk shows of the 80s. The left is over here killing our heroes and pumping our children full of hormones. And these people are more obsessed, focusing their anger on Israel. The whole thing stinks, blah, 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 blah. I don't necessarily agree with everything this thing says, but that's just how I feel. It's like, fuck, man, like we're so close. Like the left is on the run right now. The left is on the ropes. They can no longer deny they are a violent, militant group. Like, can we like defeat them first? And then some people say, well, you need to understand who's funding them. Yeah, okay, fine. Fine. You do you. That's fine.
It's a very nuanced, complicated conversation that definitely deserves a lot of patience, and it's very difficult to have.
I don't care about people questioning Israel or whatever.
No,
and I think some of the stuff, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene put out that text message exchange with Charlie Kirk saying, like, do you want to come debate at our next Turning Point event? I think ultimately that's part of Charlie's legacy, like open debate and questioning things. What bothers me is like some of it becoming personal drama. Like if you question what's going on or you want to do research, I don't care. That's good. Have at it. But if it becomes more about like you are obviously battling with someone on Twitter because you both have maybe big egos or you want to be the lead on this story. Like, I get tired of that.
Fair. And I feel like I get sucked into a little bit of that too. Like, I'm arguing with some people that I already don't like. So that's why I was like, I'm going to take some time off Twitter today and just, like, people can talk about whatever they want. And that's the truth. I feel it's a little weird.
I posted last week. I was like, hey, can we get our ish together? Can we just not fight? Maybe just for the first week.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the infighting is kind of disappointing to see, to be quite honest. And I'm like, let's just get our ducks in a row. Let's put our differences aside and let's try to stand together for at least a week.
Yeah. It's hard though, because not everyone wants to do that.
No.
I want to do that, but I think obsessing, not shining the brightest light possible on the far left radicals right now, when we have the best, most, like, the iron has never been hotter right now to strike at the left, and we're talking about Israel. Like, that's where I get like emotional about it. I'm like, like, fuck, man, guys, like, we have a congressional, like, the CEO of Twitch has got called in to Congress to testify about Hasan Piker's calls to violence. Like, finally. And now it's like 2/3 of some of our loudest voices are like Israel right now. And I'm like,
it does feel like what you're picking up on is kind of the other side of like the America First movement. Like, when you're critical of the government for sending money and people overseas paying more attention abroad, like, when we have a moment to reflect on the discord within our own political system, within our own cultural fragmentation, you should be, as a citizen, also paying attention here. It's like both government and citizenry working together to put Americans first.
Yeah. Luke, I'm going to let you go off on these text messages first. I have a theory, which I've already kind of shared publicly, so people probably won't be like too surprised. But what do you make of these text messages, Luke, our resident conspiracy theorist?
I mean, we have no kind of conclusive evidence. We just have kind of circumstantial speculation, which I think is highlighting a kind of weird situation. I mean, the way that this case was presented to us by the police and authorities has been extremely done in a very poor fashion, in my opinion. And they left a lot of kind of open holes in the official narrative that these text messages very conveniently answered in a way that almost looks potentially scripted. Right.
Yeah. So there are people saying that.
It's like he's saying all the things for no reason at all that, like, officially makes it known that he was responsible, that he's the one that etched the bullets, that he's the one that dodged the rifle. And it's like, okay, like, you were able to evade law enforcement for like over a day, but you're telling me you just confessed to everything over text messages? Like, that is the most ridiculous, stupidest thing possible. And individuals like Matt Walsh have a lot of serious questions about this. And originally he's like, this plays out of Breaking Bad. But his theory now is coming out that this was a deliberate text message in order to cover up the involvement of the trans boyfriend.
I agree with that, by the way. That was also my theory. Or a second person
or a second party.
Yeah.
So there's two theories. One is FBI just wrote it for him. Second theory is they did this so he would be the fall guy and other people who are involved got away with it.
There are other mini theories. First of all, like around, hey, there's no timestamps on here. There are theories that, like Luke said, they're just completely fabricated. Like, it's just like, here's a shoebox that arrived with the perfect evidence and it's a perfect fall guy. Now, sometimes, as Scott Jennings said last night on CNN, there's a lot of this. People are desperately looking at the edges when we have the truth right in front of us. And there's also kind of this, there's also the narrative that, Gen Z doesn't talk like this, but I don't put a lot of stock in that because, I mean, I have a Gen Z brother-in-law. He doesn't talk like, he doesn't say for real and no cap. And he doesn't talk, he talks totally normal. So I think that's a reach. What do you make of it, Hannah Claire?
I agree with you that the Gen Z doesn't talk like that. It's not the slam dunk that I think some people think it is. I wondered when people
start thinking every gay man's the flamboyant, like,
sure,
you know, like all that kind of stuff.
I wondered when people started speculating about if this was like a staged conversation so that Robinson would be the one and only fall guy, potentially to protect, his boyfriend or other people. I had wondered if like the look under my keyboard for the note thing was like a cue, and if like on Apple you can have iMessage on your laptop and a computer, so if the roommate is sitting there like typing to himself, the line that stands out to me in the text message is weird is when
hold on, go back to that, because that is another theory, is that
which would mean
the roommate typed the whole thing and that Tyler never texted it.
And it would mean that the tampering with a witness, saying like delete this post, that wouldn't apply. It would also mean that the roommate is involved in a way that he's probably not disclosing, or maybe he has by now. I think that they should be releasing, I know the online community has identified this person, but I think that they should have released the roommate's name as part of this. It makes me deeply concerned that there's some sort of plea deal going on for someone who is probably involved in a nefarious way. The line from the text exchange that stood out to me is when Robinson is like, my dad has been very MAGA since Trump got elected. Like, if these two people are roommates who then got into a romantic relationship, like, why do you need to say this in this moment when you're busy, like, creeping around the bushes trying to get your rifle back? Like, there's stuff about it that does seem slightly odd. But the idea that's like someone horrible did something stupid, like confess to the boyfriend over text, like that one actually seems like it could be reasonable to me. Like, if you're so obsessed with this relationship and the ideology that you have fallen down the rabbit hole of, then you are sort of not caring about the consequences. I mean, this person didn't even seem to plan an escape route. Like, there's some sort of part of this that the planning of this attack is weird, because it's not clear if he was what he thought he would get away with or what he would do after, attacking Charlie Kirk.
My take is a little different. I do think he thought he'd get away with this. He, in these messages, said, I should be home soon. Mm-hmm. Maybe he meant to his home. I don't know. But I think he did think he was going to get away with this. And I just think he was stupid. Like, people that don't think they're going to get away with it, they kill themselves.
Right.
They, in every other case, except for, we go back to like JFK, right? All these troons that do this, they always kill themselves. If any of them thought they were going to get away with it, then... So I believe that Tyler thought he was going to get away with it. I also... That's... Yeah, I mean, feel free to disagree.
If you look at the text messages, he's like, my father's going to be pissed. His rifle's missing. I'm trying to get my rifle that I dropped there. It was a $2,000.
Right, he thought he was going to get away with it. He thought he was going to be able to return it.
Why are you sending text messages like that? I mean, that's just like, how do you think you're going to get away with it when you steal a rifle that people know is missing?
Yeah.
That's your grandfather's. Like, you're not going to get away with it.
He didn't steal it. It was his. It was his. Yeah. There is an easy way that Kash Patel can debunk everything we're saying here. We need the timestamps, obviously. Now because he didn't release them in the first place, everyone's gonna suspect whatever he releases now. But there's a point in here. There are several things that can be verified pretty easily. The part where he says, my dad's calling me right now. Like, show the timestamp of that text, and then show that the dad, you could show there'd be phone records to show that the dad was calling him. There's a point in these text messages where he's very obviously within eye shot of his own gun and saying that there's a squad car there. You should be able to confirm whether or not the squad car was there. Mm-hmm. There are things in these text messages that you could confirm. What I agree, I think, with Luke on is that, boy, this is really fucking, like, now some people are like, well, they released 9 text messages and 7 of them are like a perfectly tailor-made confession. Yeah. This might be the only 7 they released, or 9. There might be other ones that are inconsequential. Right. And they may have just released these ones because that, and again, that's why I'm saying Kash could just release all the text messages and debunk that. Show like the random shit that's going on in between. And I think this looks more believable. Now, if they don't do that, this looks like they just typed it up. Like,
exactly. Now, there's been a lot of, I think the onus is on the FBI because, like, when we see Kash Patel says there was a note, then it was destroyed, but then our interrogation.
And they had a picture of it. Well, who took that picture?
And I'm like, why couldn't you just say that there was a picture of it, then it was destroyed? Who destroyed it? Like the whole communication here is so awful.
Yeah,
that's going to breed a lot of these conspiracies. Now, a lot of people are also saying if you look at the rhetoric and the text messages, it's. Some people are saying it's written like in cop speak because they're talking about interrogated, squad cars, retrieval, swept at spot, and I don't know if that's usually terminology that people use or not.
Yeah,
but
people are saying that.
I think it's an extrapolation.
Like
people can interpret that either way.
Robinson's dad was in law enforcement,
and his boyfriend was in the ROTC, I think.
Really?
And there were people who are like, I swept the area. This is something you would say in CSGO or Call of Duty or
right.
Luke's right. People are saying that, but I think that's another one of those, like, it's a pretty big stretch. It's as big of a stretch as the
decide. I want to ask the audience, press number 1 if you think it's the FBI writing it for them. Press number 2 if you think it's maybe these guys setting up a way to give this fake confession to law enforcement to exonerate a second party.
Yeah, I think the reason it might, like, let's take the theory that he's trying to keep his Troon boyfriend clear. It looks like the Troon boyfriend cover
clear, or are there leftists
or other parties? Yeah,
like maybe the old guy that was saying I did it in order to obfuscate from the shooter.
Oh, and they hit him with the CP bomb right away, didn't they, Luke?
Yeah,
they got his ass immediately. Like,
although,
come on, guys.
Fair, like, this guy's so weird that I'm like, I don't know. That one seems plausible.
Yeah,
yeah. But when they charged them right away, the guy literally was like, I was trying to make sure the shooter could get away.
No, he admitted it in the hospital, and then he also allegedly blurted out that he jerks off to child porn while in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, he had no reason to confess to that.
Text messages. Plus, there was messages on social media on September 3rd saying Charlie Kirk was going to be killed on September 10th by a trans person. So
people knew.
If you look at all of this, I think there's other parties involved here.
Yeah,
that's just my 2 cents.
I agree. Well, especially because it went from there were 20 people in this small private Discord to there were way more than 20 people in there, according to Kash Patel.
And then Discord denied it, and it was like, nothing to see here, folks. And then now it's like, oh yeah, we actually have something. And I'm like, who the hell's telling the truth here? And if Discord lied, Kash Patel needs to charge these individuals with obstruction immediately.
Well, yeah, I don't think. The thing is, Discord said there was no evidence of planning the attack. They didn't say that there weren't more people in there, or that they weren't. So I do believe that the attack was planned on Discord. I do believe, or Telegram or something like that. I do believe also, I think like everybody, too many people knew about this ahead of time. There was an AI book published the day before the shooting.
Yeah.
That said the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Like, give me a fucking break. Yeah. Like, some people... The other thing that I think, the other layer I was going to add to, like, this is just iMessage back and forth. They could have had ChatGPT write it, which is why it doesn't really, because something like 80% of college students are using ChatGPT now on their homework. That was in a recent study. Like, kids are using it. Like, Zoomers are using chat, not necessarily, but AI. So there's like potentially some of this was written by AI. To me, like, I have a 20-year-old brother-in-law who talks exactly like this. He doesn't he doesn't text me and say, for real, and no cap. He talks like a normal person. So, like, what is odd is just how perfect it is for the FBI. Now, Kash needs to come out and say, oh no, there were thousands of text messages, but we just released what's pertinent to the case. Okay, then release those. That's debunked. Show a timestamps we need. We also need them to connect. Here's the phone call coming from the dad at the time that this text was second. You know what I mean? So now we know they weren't pre-sent.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
And we need exit and entrance wounds. We need to know where that came from. We need to know who he was on the phone with before that conversation happened. We need to find out who was telling the truth in Discord. We need to find out how he was able to assemble a rifle with a screwdriver on top of that roof, disassemble it, leave the screwdriver on the roof, go back into the woods, and somehow assemble the rifle
you don't need the screwdriver to take apart a rifle.
No, but there was a screwdriver for that specific one. For that specific one, you needed some tools in order to do it. But why would he put it back again together with the casing inside of that?
That's
barrel?
what I was wondering. I was wondering if the FBI put it back together to take that picture. Maybe that's a question worth asking.
We need to know.
Yeah, we need to know that. Yeah,
when the initial reporting came out about it, they were
it was disassembled in a
towel.
Yeah,
but
right.
it didn't necessarily say to me that it was like assembled in a towel. If that distinction is clear enough, I wondered
for a Mauser you do need tools. But again, we don't know that he took it apart. He was hiding in his pants. He probably didn't even take it apart. The screwdriver, I think, was for the roof to get access to the roof.
And they said yesterday that, like, in the video of him running across the roof, you can see him carrying it. It's not super clear to me in that, but like that implies that he didn't stop to take it apart when he started running. He just ran with it. I wondered if yesterday the Utah attorney was kind of alluding to the fact that there are more text messages or more information that they're obviously keeping quiet before trial, because he gave, a kind of disclaimer about the Fifth and Sixth Amendment and the right for due process and things like that. He was kind of cautioning people to like not rush the evidence out and jeopardize the trial. It doesn't necessarily help public sentiment, or it doesn't help if you're Kash Patel gain trust in the FBI. You can't really stop the online speculation. But I fundamentally believe there are obviously there are more text messages between these two individuals if they live together and were dating. How many more were pertaining to this event? That remains to be seen. But I just don't believe that the roommate boyfriend had no inclination that this person was considering, an attack on Charlie Kirk. That seems a little ridiculous to me.
Someone in chat confirmed that he did not disassemble and reassemble the rifle. Mm-hmm. He didn't disassemble it. Watch Paramount Tactical live stream with Gray Hughes. Yeah, you could see him when he was running. It was fully assembled on the roof. And then they said he was walking funny because he had it crammed down his pants.
Right.
I mean, I think one thing everyone agrees on is there's definitely more people involved here. So maybe that's why they're not releasing more information. By the way, somebody in chat said that my Rumble promo code had expired. They're fixing it right now. I'll let you know because then you can use it. What do you? Sorry, that was a weird that
was like the weirdest delivery of that ever. That you can use it.
Yeah. Well, I was typing back to Rumble.
Hello, Rumble.
Since we have Luke, I'd like to talk about Mr. Zinn. I'd like to talk about him.
Who's that?
I am curious what Luke's take is on this guy.
The old guy. Here's what we know about the old guy.
The CIA probably hit him with truth serum right before.
I know, that's what I think, dude.
Here you go, crazy man.
They hit him with the truth serum. That's why he immediately said he went into the hospital and confessed to having child porn and confessed to everything exactly what he did. Like, he was in the hospital and he immediately confessed. Yep. And I don't know, and again, there's some misinformation about him. People said he was at 9/11. He was not at 9/11. He was on a video. Yeah, it was a video of him recalling his memories about 9/11, in which he very clearly says he was not in New York. He said that he was in Utah, or he was in Colorado. He flew there to watch the Broncos game or something like that. But he did call in a bomb threat days after the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah,
and he was arrested for that. He did get hit with the child porn ray gun, which the CIA loves to use. I think they blasted? Was it the brother of
the son of Ryan Routh, the guy?
The son of Ryan Routh, but wasn't the Vegas shooter? Didn't they get a child porn? His brother too. Yeah. Like, whoa, what a coincidence! Like, I have to answer this.
Keep going, guys. Here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So George Zinn
this is weird because this is the main guy who claiming that he was the one that ran interference.
Yeah, he was trying to distract
so
the shooter could escape.
Could escape.
What do you think of that?
No, I mean, he's 71 years of age, and there's like, I think, two logical conclusions from this that are both plausible. One, I think the most logical one is that he's just off his rocker. He's just crazy. He's just an old man that has lost it, that is just absolutely insane and just a danger to himself and civil society because his brain has, a few parts missing to it. That's one explanation. Second explanation is he got literally injected with CIA truth serum and was a part of MK Ultra mind control type of projects. And was like, here you go, kid. They kicked him out of the black van as soon as the incident happened. Go here now, muddy the waters and confuse everyone. Right now, I'm at a place where the world is such a crazy place. I'm entertaining that idea, but I think the most logical one is that he's crazy. But again, in this type of day and age, who the hell knows? I mean, goodness gracious, this is something that is already adding to such a weird aspect to all of this. Like, why would you confess to the possession of child adult content? Like, why would you confess right after doing this? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And I think it's only leading. I mean, as we have to remember, as soon as the incident happened, we were like, okay, they got the guy. Okay, we're good. And then it's like
him. Like when all those pictures came out, just because of like and I am not a ballistics expert. Do not come for me. I don't know. But like from my very novice understanding of the trajectory of the bullet, the idea that it would be someone directly in the crowd right in front of him, that didn't really make sense to me.
But the first few minutes, everyone was like, they got him. That's him.
I did. I remember that happened. I just didn't agree. But
we didn't see. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't even know where the shots were being taken from. So automatically everyone was saying.
But like what I was going to say was the idea that other people are involved and then there is this guy who is claiming he was involved are going to get really muddied. And I think that there can be other people involved in what happened to Charlie Kirk, but George Zinn can be just a crazy person.
He is a crazy person. He had nothing to do with it. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Unless, and there is the possibility that he's like, I thought there was a bigger chance he was involved when he was at Ground Zero. But then I did the research. He was never at Ground Zero. He was just watching it on TV like the rest of us. Now, it is possible, just to play Luke's advocate here, it is entirely possible that one person radicalized both people with no knowledge to either of them. And someone told George Zinn, hey, this is going to happen, create a distraction. Like, he's already crazy. He's already mentally unstable. They're like, hey, we know you have child porn on your phone. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to go this and do what happens. And that's plausible too. Now he didn't say that anyone told him to do it, but he did fully confess to like, he did it so the shooter could get away and he wanted to be a martyr for him. Again, why? Nobody's going to remember this pedo. Like, I don't really understand.
That's where I think it's like some sort of histrionic personality disorder issue. Like, why would you call in a bomb threat? Like, his life is riddled with very weird activities. Yeah. And I think one of the dangers of having...
And it was serious. Like, he went to prison for it.
Yeah,
like it was. It was not like a joke thing,
And I just think that like there were crazy people in the crowd
the day after the Boston Marathon bombing, or the week after, I think.
I was there reporting on it, and it was just absolute madness with all the bomb threats and harassments.
Yeah. Sorry, Hannah, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, I think the likelihood that there were lots of crazy people in the crowd at a Turning Point USA event with Charlie headlining is high, right? Like, not all of them are related to what happened. A lot of people, unfortunately, come to heckle or cause trouble in, I'm going to say, non-violent ways, like without being attached to the shooting, just to be disruptive.
You have to be kind of crazy anyway. Like, I don't think regular people, like... If Joe Biden was having a rally across the street from me, I wouldn't leave my house to go heckle people. Like, you have to be really radical to be like, I'm going to drive 2 hours to go to this event that I don't like. Like,
do you think it's radical or do you think it's like emotionally unstable?
Both.
Because I think some people are
both.
they can't. They it's like a moth to a flame. They, for whatever reason, their brain will not let them act logically, and they are like, "This is something I have to do."
Well, it's going to come out that he was at other events, I'm sure, and he's just a crazy old dude. I mean, he was yelling, "Shoot me, shoot me!" Like, it was very, very weird, and I just don't. Someone said, "Would I heckle if I was paid to do it?" Well, probably not, because but hypothetically, if I'm not me, right?
Only if BB himself signs the check. That's
BB, it'd have to come straight out of the Netanyahu wire account. But I do believe, obviously, there are paid agitators. I believe there are some things that people call conspiracy theories that I 100% believe in. I believe they're paid. I saw them at the RNC. All of us were at the RNC. I don't know if Hannah Claire got out of the hotel at all, but like Luke and I were on the ground. There were very clearly paid protesters there. And so there were paid. Viva Fry just texted me his theory. Okay, hold on, Viva. Let's pull it up and talk about it. Viva, why don't you just come on?
Viva, if you're not going to join our show, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here, Viva. Stop trying to bogart my show. Hold on a second.
I'm heckling him for free. I'm not even a paid actor. You
guys should have a neck beard battle.
I mean, I don't have a neck beard. See, I trim my neck. I will bowl him. We can have a bowl. I think he has probably like a 220 average.
Come down to Miami and we'll do tactical training and bowling.
Yeah. He'd probably defeat me in tactical training because he's so little. I'm trying to find this. How Viva, just come on the show. Here we go. Do I have it on the screen? No, not yet. Okay. I think this is the tweet he sent me. George Zinn, the man who admitted to falsely claiming he was a Charlie Kirk shooter to create an opportunity for the actual shooter to get away, has been arrested for sex abuse material on his phone. Here's my speculative prediction. It's going to be revealed that he was in the Discord chat or other furry communities with others who were involved in the planning or had advanced knowledge of the shooting. If he had advanced knowledge of the shooting, because we know people did, that maybe he was there to witness it. Zinn would have had advanced knowledge of the event and figured he could be of assistance to the assassination plot. It's inconceivable that Zinn was there randomly, spontaneously decided to assist the plot, and then randomly had child sex abuse material on his phone. I can't disagree with that. I don't think that's a crazy
if there were
theory.
Discord communities who knew, like, maybe didn't know Tyler Robinson personally, but like knew that something was happening at this event and were drawn to it. I believe that.
I mean, there was messages, there was posts online saying Charlie's going to get it September 10th.
Yeah. It's possible that this George Zinn guy. We know that there is definite Venn diagram crossover of people that are into like furry porn as well as child porn and stuff like this, sexual degeneracy.
Yeah.
And then the trans community. Like, there are sexual degenerates that are not trans, but there are definitely trans sexual degenerates who are into the furry stuff, by the way, I don't care if you're a furry, but if you're jerking off to furry porn, you've reached the end of the internet. Like,
I just don't understand why Utah has so many furries right now. Like, why are we hearing about them?
I think it has something to do with
the LDS church?
Yes, the Mormon upbringing, and this is, a different persona, a fursona. You can be somebody else, something else. I think that's probably...
It's like a culturally intense community alternative to...
yes, it's the yin to the yang of being a buttoned-up Mormon.
Interesting.
But I don't know that for a fact. It's just me speculating off the cuff, but... Viva needs a link. He can't come on. He's got a show in like 8 minutes. Let me see.
What an interesting excuse there, Viva.
Yeah, you can't.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it's okay. Well, I could link him. Hold on a second. Let me link him. Viva, I'll link you, and then you can come in and share. You can stand by your take here, and then you can go do your show if you want. Viva, I sent it to your DMs. Oh, there's some interesting images in there. Just kidding. I mean, I think like Melanie talks about that. Like, I'm not like, as hardcore about porn as she is, but like porn seems to be a gateway into like more and more extreme porn. This is not the first school shooter that was into like, these people are watching a rape porn, and they're watching like beheading videos. They're watching all this shit. Like they're like a demonic force with like trying to consume it all.
Oh my gosh, you'll never guess who's here. I also think that this is not something that's just related to, hey, Viva, school shooters. Like,
see, the thing is this.
Yeah.
He was in the Discord server. My only theory, hold on, I'm not.
Yeah, we know Viva has to go in like 5 minutes, but
2 minutes.
Yeah,
because they don't necessarily need to know who he was. Like, it's their avatars. They don't necessarily know they're engaging with a 65, 70-year-old.
True.
Person. So he's pretending to be like in the Discord server. He shows up thinking he's, everybody's in love with each other here. Did you hear the way the ABC journalist was talking about the loving? They're touching. So this guy he's got a thing for young people, obviously. Whether or not these furries were young enough for him, he's in there anonymously. They have no idea. He knows it's coming up. He goes down there and he's got what he's got on his phone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's
Well, the
I
theory
don't think
makes
that's crazy.
with the staged, which is with potentially the staged text messages that would absolve everyone and make him the alone kind of shooter that could have been staged, because this could have been a well-organized, bigger group, and it could explain the kind of disconnection between Discord and what they also said, which was a little bit flip-floppy, according to some people as well. So this could be a grander, bigger conspiracy here that I think is worth entertaining and looking at.
No, we'll get there. But thank you for guys.
Yeah. Viva, thanks for stopping in, bud. We love you. Hey, bowling challenge. When I come down to the Rumble, I'm gonna come down to Longboat in like February. Dude, let's hook up and do some bowling.
I'm averaging not quite 220. Yesterday I had a bad first game, but I got 217 in my third game. So I'm averaging close
How about I take you boys shooting and we do an actual sport?
I'm like a 180 average. So you got to spot me some
bowling.
pins.
We'll do it. Shooting and bowling. We'll do it.
Yeah. All right. See you, Viva.
Shooting bowling.
Yeah. There's actually a shooting league here that you shoot bowling pins.
What?
Yeah. You bowl with a handgun. It's really cool. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's obviously very different. Yeah, they're great targets. They stand up. You can shoot them multiple times. Because then you'll use like small caliber, like 22 pistol. They last like basically forever. Like that. And it's just fun. Yeah, I definitely think
Listen, guys, the authorities are on the case. Home Depot, they're going to get fully investigated. Office Depot. Office Depot is in big trouble. We have
my
Pam
God, are we
Bondi
talking about
case.
Pam Bondi? Yeah.
Pam Bondi's on the case. Everything's going to be absolved. Everything's going to be figured out. And, those Office Depot people will never work again. So great.
She's on it, guys.
Yeah.
I do think that George Zinn is a distraction from the boyfriend. Like, whether or not he intended to be a distraction or whatever, we know his name, we know things about him. Law enforcement, for whatever reason, is still protecting the identity of the roommate boyfriend. And I think that's weird. I think that guy is definitely involved. George Zinn, again, maybe he saw the messages, heard something was happening, decided to show up because he is already unstable. But there are other people that I would like to hear more about that we haven't heard about.
Somebody in chat said, and this is a fair point, like, you guys realize that they can't release everything. There's still an ongoing investigation. I know that's part of the. I already said that. Yeah, that's part of the. That's the trouble, right?
It's frustrating.
Everything they release spins off new conspiracy theories. There is an angle. What do you think about this, by the way? Zinn says, has Melanie been able to impact your morality at all? Have you done any self-reflection about the values you promote, weighed against the way you live, think, and feel? I'm a pretty moral guy. I pretty much promote only the way I live, and I use the way that I live that is not good as a cautionary tale. So I think, there's always room to be more moral, but I generally live by my own. I don't know. I don't think you're necessarily accusing me of not being moral. It's just,
well, hypothetically, like you're saying, it's you are constantly trying to prove it. You can make mistakes in the past and be like, that was wrong. I'm gonna do better. Whether or not Melanie's on the show or you're experiencing it in your own life privately. Yeah.
What do you make of, so TPUSA has incredibly high definition, incredibly graphic footage on those SD cards. There were a half dozen cameras that were cleaned up after the event. I suspect they handed over the SD cards to the FBI, but people need to remember there is extremely high def and high detailed footage that exists of Charlie Kirk's death and the events that led up to it. What do you make of people? Like, I think they could release that footage right up until the moment where he's hit. I think that would quell a lot of the conspiracy theories. There's one big theory. We talked about the text messages. There's obviously one big theory about people like, oh, somebody in the crowd had a gun. I guarantee you it wasn't that. It was a loud crack heard in the distance. I believe that theory 0%, but that hasn't stopped tens of thousands of people saying that there was a shooter in the crowd or that there's it wasn't a shooter. The shot came from the right. People could DM me this guy who's like, he's on the ground investigating it, but he's also saying completely unsupported things. I don't want to shit on him, but like, people are like, did you see this guy? He said that he was shot from the right. I'm like, he clearly wasn't. You could see the impact of the bullet. He was not shot from the right. But like, maybe they could release some of this footage right up until the point to, what do you think the responsibility of TPUSA is, or the FBI, to be answering these questions in real time? Because I think they probably think they don't have one. You know,
it's of key critical importance because this is not just about one individual criminal case. This is about the social fabric of this country. There's a reason Democrats, 20% of them believe it was right-wing, a right-wing.
Well, you see
assassin.
Kimmel?
Yeah.
Kimmel went on and said as a fact that he was a MAGA guy. Let his show off with that. Million viewers heard him say as a fact he's MAGA on Monday when we knew he wasn't.
Which is crazy because he is saying that specifically to make his audience like him more. Like he knows better and he is choosing to be ignorant.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a combination, but they need to do daily press conferences. They need to release whatever information they can, with respect to making sure that the criminal proceedings go on in a way. But they're going to be, of course, providing that evidence to the alleged shooter. So if they're providing it to the shooter, it doesn't hurt to also address it in the general public in order to quail a lot of the conspiracy theories, because they're only going to be brewing with these very weird statements, with these inconsistencies, and a message that sadly has been very incoherent from the FBI and from Kash Patel. I think there needs to be a way better job when it comes to releasing and talking and being accountable and being transparent, because we don't have a good, competent type of approach to this. This is why we have all the theories, and the theories are going to grow.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line. There's certain things that you just can't release. But I do think they could release video evidence proving that, the shot came from the roof above. That would be like the silver bullet. Well, that's not the best term to use, but like here you can see, I guarantee you those cameras probably captured the muzzle flash and probably captured him moving across the roof, Or maybe they captured the bullet and where it came from and what trajectory it came from. That's also another aspect of it. There's a lot of people online, too, that have never shot a deer with a 30-06 before. Another big conspiracy theory that, again, I continue to see get 20, 30, 40,000 likes is that, essentially the 30-06, that it wasn't a 30-06, it was a smaller caliber. I know this for a fact. Anybody who's ever shot a deer with a 30-06 will tell you that the exit wound on a deer is fucking tiny. It does not explode the other side of the deer out. So, like, there's all these people saying, I need to see the exit wound, blah, blah, blah. You don't really. Like, that's a 30-06. There's millions of pictures of deer shot by 30-06. There is no explosive exit wound from a 30-06 rifle shot in a deer, and there wouldn't be one in a human being either. It just blasts right through. And, and there was some questions.
If he was wearing body armor, right, it was stopped.
If there's fragmentation,
and it acted differently.
Yeah.
So it also depends on the situation, because there's situations where the body reacts differently based on the bullet, and it's very hard to. It's like its own science, and it's very confusing to understand here.
So we're saying that's a deer, not a human being. I mean, it's pretty 1 for 1. Like we're 120 pound deer compared to 120 pound hers. You don't like my deer, then use an elk. Okay, same thing. You go watch any video of an elk that's shot with a 30-06, that does not exploded out the other side. It's a tiny exit wound every time. Like, you cannot assert otherwise and get me to back. I've seen the exit wounds like with my own 2 eyes. It's not.
But it also depends if it hits bone, right? If it hits bone, it's different. And because like sometimes, especially if it hits a plate, then it hits bone, then the bullet's acting a little bit different.
Matter?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you hit a plate.
We need to understand where the shot actually came from.
Well, yeah, maybe. But if it hit a plate, then it completely disproves that a shot came from the right because it wouldn't have had a cross section.
Yeah, that's my theory. Other people who are like sniper experts are saying it probably came from the side. I'm like, I don't know. But this could dispel a lot of those conversations. I don't want to see any of the gory stuff. I don't want to see no more blood. I don't want to see him die. I took it to a more extreme case. I just made this argument in my video. I said, look, I don't want to see it. I don't want it released on social media. I don't want it to see it on social media. Release it to third-party independent ballistic experts and have them do a public report on it that are not tied into the government.
I also think that a 30-06 round, now someone can correct me if I'm wrong, we don't know if he was wearing body armor. People seem to be assuming he was. It was rumored that he used to wear light body armor. A 30-06 would penetrate that.
Exactly.
So,
and then it would make the bullet act different. And I think next thing, the neck was the exit wound.
It could have been. Yeah. It could have went in the chest, fragmented, and started spinning. We got, deflected off the body armor, spinning and came out that way, or a piece of it. It could have just been a piece of it that came out. Not even the
how
entire
much of this do you think will be clarified by the coroner's report, which hasn't been released yet? I don't think it's finalized.
Yeah, I think it will all be clarified by that. Yeah.
So there is like information pending, and I think there are ways that they like. I agree with Luke. Like, I don't want just like another round of this horrible shooting to just circulate the internet so that people can feel like they got the information they needed. Like, I want to have some dignity and respect for Charlie and his family. But it does seem like there is a chance that we'll get more information in the coming days and weeks that are separate from the trial, but also might clarify some of these things, like what was the entry wound, what was the exit wound. Of course, you can always fall back on like, well, I don't trust this guy, or I don't trust that expert, or whatever. But for the most part, it doesn't. Why are you even
in the conversation then? That's how I feel about those people. Like, I'm so over. Like, I'm fine with not trusting anybody, but if I check your Twitter timeline and you're 100% just saying everybody's lying all the time, then I have no value for you. Like, you have to believe fucking something. It is. I get it, not trusting the FBI. I think Kash Patel should probably be fired, to be honest with you. Not just in the way that he's handled this, but let's not forget the Epstein files, okay?
Yeah, which he doubled down on yesterday.
He doubled down. By the way, people are talking about that there was a vote on the day he was assassinated to not release the Epstein files. Is that true?
By people the Senate. Yeah, it was Josh Hawley and Rand Paul. The only two people that voted against it, but majority of Republicans voted to keep the client list and not the client list, but the documents sealed.
Yeah, and that happened on that day too.
Yeah.
So there's always that kind of stuff. That vote, we can probably see if that vote was scheduled. I don't think that the government killed Charlie Kirk to cover up the fact that they voted to keep those sealed, because the government has been pissing off America with the Epstein files for 10 years now. Yeah. What difference? Why would that vote matter? Mm-hmm. So again, I don't believe that. So there's all sorts of people. They see like this dots on a graph, or dots on a chart. No, dots on a page. And then they're like, see, they're all connected. And it's like, no, none of them are connected. Like,
they're extrapolations.
Yeah.
And you have to be intellectually honest with it, because a lot of people are just making the jump. But I'm like, where's the direct proof and evidence? Right. And I think that's where we have to be as honest as we can. Because I've been saying, look, people are saying this. People are saying this. Where's the evidence? Now, you could say, hey, there should be more investigations. Like with the whole thing with Israel, right? Like, if someone had an argument with someone before he passed away, investigate it. But do we have any proof and conclusive evidence? No, we do not. And until we do, you can't make those extrapolations.
Yeah. By the way, the free quartering promo code should be working now in the description. If you want to get Rumble Premium free for a month, which means no ads, plus you get access to our Discord server. With that, the link is in the description. Let me know in chat if it works now. Luke and Hannah Claire, why don't you let the people know where they can find your stuff?
Ladies first.
Okay. You can find my stuff on Rumble and YouTube. I make videos about the news, some cultural analysis. It's Hannah Claire B in both places. That's in my channel. If you want to follow me on X and tag me on anything you'd like me to talk about in the coming week, let me know. I'm Hannah Claire B there as well. As always, I really appreciate you guys who are supporting my channel and my work. It's so interesting to read your comments and to be doing this full time. So thanks so much. And also come back tomorrow for Estrocast, which is one of the best days of the week, in my opinion. Luke,
it's the best show day.
Yeah, go check out Hannah. She does great independent media. It's important to support independent media. So definitely go check her out. And
you're not going to get a laugh from me. I think you should call her Hannah Claire. That's her name.
It's funny because he's saying support me, but then he's not saying my name, so then they couldn't find me. Interesting.
I'm saying you're great. I'm saying you're great. I'm saying you're awesome. And I'm saying people should
go
watch
Luke?
your channel.
What is the channel called?
You're great and awesome. Right?
What is my channel name? Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, where can you find her?
I gotta get all this microaggressions over here.
It's just funny because you pause for it for the reaction, and now I don't I just know that you can't remember it. You're low IQ, I guess.
It's just well, if you want to follow my low IQ autistic ramblings, you can on youtube.com/wearechange. I actually been going deep down the rabbit holes, and there's a lot of crazy theories out there. A lot of the really bad ones I just dispel because I think we need to.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are afraid to have these very difficult conversations, and they are very difficult because you got to thread the line between a whole bunch of extremism and a whole bunch of brain rot and just people who are not thinking correctly. So I do my best to go down the rabbit hole and not lose myself there. And if you think I do a good job, subscribe, click the notification button, youtube.com/wearechange. I just did another one with, there's a Marine Scout sniper that came out and thinks that the shots were coming from the right side of Charlie. And I fully went into that and the video analysis of that. And allegedly there being a flash and allegedly there being a bullet. I went through all of that. So if you appreciate it, subscribe. It means a lot to me. youtube.com/wearechange.
Yeah, I've been covering, I cover the text message thing, but I also cover the George Zinn thing later today. I think this guy's just a psycho pedophile, but he does fit the MK Ultra mold. He does fit he had his brain. I'm still trying to join the Discord. Yes, join the Discord. Definitely have to check that out. Oh yeah. Love HCB versus Nuke name calling cast. Yeah.
We're mature and serious, and then we fight about our names. It's it's in the back seat.
It's not an easy job I do, folks. Keeping these
You're welcome.
These ne'er-do-wells in line. So yeah, I mean, I think it's fine to I can just what do you make of all this stuff about the Hamptons? People say Candace Owens has brought the receipts. I think that two things can be true. I think that there could have been some sort of pressure against Charlie Kirk but the only thing I see is the same people who are pretending to give a shit about the truth about Charlie Kirk are the same people who have been calling him an Israel shill for the past 5 years. So it's which is it? Is he an Israel shill or did Israel kill him?
Well, it looks like he was. Well, this is the argument they're making, that he was changing his mind and changing his mind.
Yeah, but they have no evidence of. Sorry, Luke. I know you're not making that assertion. But I get so frustrated because I'm they aren't bringing any receipts of that. They're just, he was converting to Catholicism or some shit. I'm come on, Tucker.
Well, let's look at the argument. So on one side, we have Roger Stone, Megyn Kelly,
I
Tucker
don't know
Carlson,
what Stone has said. What has Stone said?
Dave Smith. Stone says that there's still more questions about the official narrative of what's going on here. But
that's
again,
true,
Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, Roger Stone, Megyn Kelly, and now former Congressman Matt Gaetz, right? You have them on one side with MTG. On the other side, you have Seth Dillon and Bill Ackman. Both of those gentlemen released both of their statements.
And the influencers, right? All these 30 influencers over there.
I know a lot of those people on that other side. And I trust those people a little bit more because I have more of a personal relationship with some of them. The other people that are releasing statements today saying, no, this is not a big deal. Now, again, it's kind of crazy that we're having this argument here, but obviously I'm a little bit more favorable towards the people I know, right?
Yeah. Well, I think both things can be true. There could have been some internal turmoil. I
don't think they're saying. I don't think Tucker Carlson is saying Israel did it, right? Nick Fuentes is not saying Israel did it.
The
Some crazy
implication
loonies are
is
thinking what they're saying, and then they're saying that they did it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell people before I get Hannah Claire's take on this. If you go to CBC, that's like letter C, B, C, Amazon, CBCAmazon.com, that now goes directly to Coffee Run Coffee's Amazon store. And I put on a crazy sale right now. Our entire spring collection's available for $5. So you can get cherry cordial or the tangerine both in K-cup and in ground and whole bean. It's $5.99 with free overnight shipping until it's gone. So this stock up. You can put it in the freezer so it lasts longer. CBCAmazon.com. And also our summer flavors are now in stock, shipping free overnight. And some of our fall flavors are in stock there. So I hope we can have a big day. We just sent a whole bunch of stock to Amazon. Get your cherry cordial and your tangerine because they're both delicious, and $5 for a whole bag of coffee is crazy cheap. And but while you're there, get the tiger's blood and blackberry cream too. Those, I really want people to try those because they're brand new and they're ridiculously good. So CBCAmazon.com. Sorry, Hannah Claire, what do you make of all the? I guess I'm more offended by the timing. I don't have a problem with the reporting. You know.
Yeah, I don't. You guys question everything you need to question, right? Like that's part of investigative journalism. I think the timing is like a little bit gauche. Obviously, I think there is, and it's not necessarily just like Candace Owens or anybody else, but there is a little bit of like trying to be the lead on a story as things are happening that I feel like might be a little bit rushed. I totally believe that Charlie Kirk was pressured in his lifetime to take all kinds of stances on things. I also think it's probably fundamentally, totally plausible that after years and years of this Israel conflict, that he was starting to change maybe a position he held in the beginning, versus now. I no reason to think that he was static in his thinking. But it does, I think you kind of referenced at the top of the show, I get a little bit fatigued of like, I have insider information that Charlie Kirk himself is never going to be able to verify. I don't like that as much. One of the most compelling claims to me of just kind of how weird Israel's being was when someone pointed out that Netanyahu has like released a letter Charlie wrote him, or like written 2 different op-eds talking about Charlie Kirk when he's in the middle of like a huge conflict on his own doorstep. I mean, I understand paying respect to other countries' political figures, but it does seem like this has really caught his focus in a way that is a little bit, again, gauche or weird or odd. But I don't like to delve down too much of the conspiracy theory, in part because I bet there are talented enough people who, like, if they have concrete evidence, I want their voices to be the ones presenting it. I don't want just like back and forth on Twitter of like maybe what we're seeing is like airing of personal grievances. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's worth knowing. I want to dig into it like after he's been buried. Like, I think it's important to know if Israel had infiltrated Turning Point. It sounds like they didn't. Like, even the most nefarious rumor about it, that Bibi Netanyahu offered him $150 million, effectively doubling their operating budget, he declined it in that rumor. So it's like, okay, then the story should be that he declined it. And that, you know, if they can prove that, you know, all I've heard is an anonymous source said, if you can prove
Tucker's
that,
talking about one person that pulled a $2 million donation and other mega donors that were threatening to pull the donation if he wasn't counseled for the upcoming TPUSA event in December, right? And that makes sense because
I believe that's true.
Yeah, and Tucker made the argument that Charlie was kind of aiding and egging him on, being like, just go for it, go after it. And in that speech at the Student Action Summit, I was there. Tucker Carlson went very strong against Bill Ackman. Tucker Carlson went very strong against the Epstein client list, which he linked to Mossad. And allegedly, according to Tucker, he was being kind of like pushed by Charlie to do this. And now Charlie was facing incredible pressures. And Tucker says that Charlie was being, I think he even went as far as to say, tormented by people who are harassing him, telling him, cut off Tucker Carlson, cancel Tucker Carlson, make sure he doesn't speak at TPUSA.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. I mean, again, you don't become Charlie Kirk by being averse to conflict. And I just don't think, like, whether it's donors threatening to pull money or people trying to pressure you socially or whatever, like, I'm sure that is a regular thing that he faced. And Tucker Carlson's a fascinating person. He's also made a lot of people angry with things that he's done in the recent years. So it doesn't seem that crazy. What becomes crazy to me is just like the drama that comes with X. But I am particularly averse to this. Like I check out of that really quickly. So maybe for other people it is enlightening.
Yeah. I don't know if you mentioned it, but also the important thing about the Tucker thing is that Charlie doubled down and refused to ban him and said, I'm going to have him at AmFest. So
and was
it's
facing incredible amounts of pressures. And according to Tucker Carlson, was being tormented before he died by people putting incredible amount of pressures. And there was, gays against groomers that came out and said, cancel Tucker Carlson from speaking at TPUSA.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe he was under pressure from that community. As long as people are super clear about saying about not implying Israel also killed him, because then I think we're getting away from. And for me, again, it's just a timing thing. It's like, damn, we got we have a lot to talk about here. We have another leftist killer, the second in a month. We have the trial coming up of
and rejoicing it.
Yeah, let's squash this now before we worry about whatever financing shit was going on at TPUSA, because it doesn't really matter anymore. And what the big important thing to take away is that Tucker told them all to suck a butt. He didn't take their money, and he didn't deplatform anybody. So at the end of the day, yeah, Charlie. What did I say, Tucker? Sorry, Charlie. Yeah, at the end of the day, Charlie stood for free speech. He stood by Tucker Carlson, and he didn't take the money. So this is effectively much ado about nothing. Mm-hmm. There was a secret influencer thing. That's creepy. I don't like that happened. I wasn't invited, so sorry, guys.
So actually, it's not that you don't like it. It's just that you're jealous.
No, but I mean, if I'm an Israel shill, don't you think I'd be there?
I don't know what you're allowed to talk about when you're an Israel shill. It's hard to tell.
Oh, the promo code is free quartering, by the way. That's try that one.
Every time we say that free quartering is the promo code, I think it's you're jailed and we must free you. Have I already said that?
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's whatever they set up. So
it's just making me laugh. Bail him out, guys. Free quartering.
Yeah. Well, you support the show when you become a Rumble Premium member, or you join. How many of you joined the members Discord, by the way? Did anybody, go to thequartering.com/join, and there's a lot of new members there.
I once got arrested with my friend Dan Dix at one of the Bilderberg meetings in Denmark. And we had hashtag free dicks trending on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, you have to free
get out of
him,
jail because people overwhelmingly got involved. They're like, free dicks, free dicks, free dicks.
Yeah, who wouldn't love
we
that?
We have an opportunity here. We've got to seize the moment.
I did, but I need to cancel. It's boring. Well, that's why we need more people in there. So go to thequartering.com/join, and there'll be more people in there. There'll be more stuff.
Boring,
Yeah. You could, be the change you want to see. If you're
I heard
bored.
that one before.
Yeah, James joined today. Nick joined today. Aaron joined today. David joined today. Sean joined today. Daniel joined.
Welcome.
Michael, Will. Oh, that was it. Michael. So 1, 2, almost 7 or 8 people. So if we keep adding 10, 15 people a day, that thing's going to be, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in there. There's going to be hundreds of people in there at all times. So, I was just joking. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to get, if we get that thing to 1,000 members, we're going to be able to do community stuff. By the way, I said I was going to start a TP USA chapter, and I have hundreds of emails from people in Wisconsin. I just I think I tweeted it or something like that want to join.
Cool.
And I keep getting like completely overwhelmed. I don't think I'm TPUSA material, but maybe I can help someone. Yeah. Like last night I was tweeting, somebody's like, oh, there's no fitness group in your Discord. And I was like, how about fitness dick in your mouth? And like, as I texted it, I was like, TPUSA is not going to put me in charge of a chapter. Like they
want you to influence the college and high school students, Jeremy. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I don't think like maybe if I cleaned up my act a little bit, but I'd be happy to work with someone else who's got a little squeakier clean, and I can just be involved. I'm happy. I don't have to lead it at all. I had my neighbors texting me and I was like, they're like, dude, you got to do this. I'm like, first of all, time is a thing. So, like, I'd be happy to like promote it and be at the meetings and do this stuff. But like, I can't handle the admin, like whatever needs to be done.
You have to be like an advisor to a chapter, but not the head of a chapter.
Yes, that's what I would prefer. Then that way TPUSA wouldn't have to like claim the things that I say. I'm sure that's probably why they're not texting me back. Like,
I remember they used to have like, I don't know if they still do it.
Going through a lot now. So.
Yeah.
They used to have like an influencer program, and like when you go to their conferences or whatever, they were like people who were affiliated with them and help promote the thing, like not staff members. I feel like you applying for that program would be the funniest thing, because it'd be like,
just start at the bottom.
Right. Like, we like his work supporting Trump, but I don't know if we can be promoting these specific tweets to high school students.
Yeah, this guy's calling everyone, like, so I don't know if like,
who's to say? Maybe you're up for it. They like frisbee.
We are in a new world. We are in a new time. I wanted to talk about these teachers getting fired. 100 in Texas alone. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Oh, damn it. What do you make of the Steve Bannon saying that there's a link to Butler? Did you see that? He said the Charlie Kirk assassin did not act alone. There's a link to the Trump shooting in Butler. I don't know what that link would be.
That's my thing. Like, I respect Steve Bannon a lot. A little bit more, please. Like,
yeah, you can't just say it. Yeah.
And just because we know so little about Crooks, like, for all we know, he's in the exact same furry Discord that this guy was, right?
You're right.
But also, I don't have any evidence to like it. It's a little bit vague to me, but I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, I want to hear more. Yeah, I'm really over the breaking, completely bombshell news. No source. No source in the reply. Like, I have somebody that I'm friendly with on X, and I'm constantly bitching at him. I'm like, dude, you can't say like breaking, Twitch bans Hasan, and then like no fucking evidence or link to any report. Now, usually I search and I can find an article somewhere, but I'm like, dude, like, why don't you just attach your source? Like, it's so weird. Like, people do that like they're breaking the news, but they're not. They're just seeing an article somewhere and then they're saying breaking, and then there's no evidence of it at all. Like, it's so fatiguing. Like, because I'm like, what? Oh, what?
Get your hopes up.
Yeah, like it's all night at 10 times a night that happens. Like, breaking war breaks out. What? Oh, a war of words. Oh, I see.
That wasn't what I thought, but okay.
Yeah, well, that's what they mean to do. Mm-hmm. What do you guys make of this? Over 100 teachers in Texas alone have been fired for reprehensible social media. Dude, conservatives need to get into teaching. Hannah Claire brought that up. Like, I know conservatives are more of like a homeschool your kids thing, but like, fuck, man. Like, this starts at elementary. Like, we talked about on, what was it? Thursday or Friday, some teacher made 9-year-olds repeatedly watch Charlie Kirk's neck explode and told him he deserved it, and then sent them home to their parents. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, these people are teaching our kids. 100 alone in Texas? And I imagine Texas was probably the most heavy-handed with firing these people, but like, just if it was, that means hundreds more weren't fired, and then there's 49 other states.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
And I wouldn't be surprised if there were more intense states, Texas, I think of like Texas, Tennessee, a couple of these states where there are
Florida,
very blue cities, but generally it's a red state. I'm sure there is a lot of contention, and that might be an environment where a teacher or whoever would be like, well, I can say this on my Facebook because it's how I feel, or in class, or wherever they feel empowered to. No, I really do think that it's a mistake to fully withdraw. Like, advocate for school choice, advocate for homeschooling, whatever. But if you're, let's say, a Turning Point USA member on your college chapter, whatever, and you are interested in homeschooling your kid one day, but you don't have kids, why not go into teaching for a couple years? You could have a really positive impact on the communities you're in, and then you could still homeschool your kids when you have them. Like, if you're 21 years old and you're probably not going to have a kid for, I don't know, a year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, like, there is time you could be doing this. I assume you're probably looking for some kind of job. When I went to CPAC when I was in high school, I mean, this is a long time ago at this point, but
really long time ago.
A really long time ago. I know the sleep deprivation is aging me too. It's bad, guys. But it was around the time Dark Knight had come out, and people were debating if that was a conservative coded film. And I find this fascinating because I was listening to this panel discussion. They were saying, as much as we hate Hollywood, don't send your creative kids to DC, send them to Hollywood, because that's where they could make an impact. Now, of course, all parents, and I'm sure Tyler Robinson's parents are probably the ones to attest this most, are afraid that if they send their kids into the belly of the beast, that they will, be converted and changed. And I don't have an answer for that. But I do think that with Hollywood, or moreover teaching, having strong people with good values who really are there to help kids, learn to read at higher rates than we're currently doing, is one of the best things we could do for our society.
Yeah. By the way, someone in chat, says, hey man, stop lumping all of us degen furfags with the tranny-loving femboy shooter. Most of us keep degenerate proclivities to ourselves. Hey, I've always been a friend of the furry community. Furries have always been welcome on my channel. Yeah, I don't make fun of furries.
I did find some weird tails when I was at your house. I didn't know what they were, what the tails were.
Those are butt plugs. They go in the butt.
I think so.
Yeah.
I just about all of this.
Yeah. That's not a furry thing though.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with furries at all.
Anyway, it's kind of disgusting how there's 100+ teachers that are posting about this, feeling emboldened and brazen enough to celebrate or justify the murder of someone in front of their kids. And these are the people watching your kids. And this isn't a state that's actually doing something about it. The state of Florida is actually investigating it. Now imagine what's happening in liberal leftist jurisdictions like California or New York, where they're probably hiding a lot of this stuff, excusing it, or just moving teachers around to new schools that have committed probably more heinous, incredible actions that are absolutely disgusting. I mean, seeing people just in a demon-like evil worship of death highlights how this is far more of a spiritual fight than a lot of us admit it is. And I think the biggest realization that a lot of people have had this week is that we're up against demons, and a lot of people are demon-possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are teaching your kids.
Pennsylvania armed shooter right now. Police officers are hurt. Oh my God. Okay. I will look that up. I just got this out of the Discord. By the way, go to thequartering.com/join. Get in the Discord. You can send me tips live for the show. There were some questions that we need to answer that were sent from members too, and some super chats, but listen to this.
Counterterrorism work, cyber attacks, and foreign adversaries are something the FBI must never sleep on, and we are not sleeping. In the counterintelligence space alone, this year to date, 30% increase in counterintelligence arrests from the DPRK, Russia, Iran, and China. And I want the American people to know, in this setting, there's a lot of work that the brave men and women in the FBI are doing we just can't get into, but they don't stop. Our cyber threats, ransomware attacks, those harming our children online. We have nearly a 20% increase in indictments and arrests in 7 months alone this year. We're going after those that harm our malware, infrastructure systems, telecom systems, and energy structure. Combating SALT and Vault typhoons are just a little bit of the examples we're doing. Maybe most importantly, under the counterterrorism and domestic terrorism umbrella, are nihilist, violent extremists.
Nihilist?
And those that label themselves 764, who wish to go online and convince children to maim and mutilate themselves and commit suicide and we are producing record numbers of arrests under that umbrella organization. We even stopped an individual in the 764 network who wanted to conspire to kill an adolescent girl.
I mean, by the way, these people are, I'm going to get to this too. Some viewer messages, I'm going to get the members' emails too. Silverback Slap says, speaking of Indians, I got that one. Colo Max says, oh, hey, Rumbos, I got that. Don't forget to follow Luke at We Are TDS and TDS Unfiltered. JJ from Iowa says there's a lot of JDS going on right now. Yeah.
What did I say? That was TDS.
No, they're saying you are TDS. You know,
yeah,
people
but
say
what did
TDS.
I say? That was TDS. Like
they're remembering that from what, the vaccine era? Still, like that's about it.
I was vindicated on all of that. You're welcome. I saved some lives with that one.
Daddy Doodoo says, if y'all don't get a membership in the Discord, you're a bundle of sticks. Word. I agree. Bad Max says, the left wants conquest and control. The right just wants to get away from the left. JJ from Iowa says, he didn't disassemble it. I got that one. Did you guys see Montel Williams say on CNN that the shooter was just a lovesick kid? Yeah, I saw that. I wanted to smack him in the face figuratively. Brule Jacques says, the only conspiracy is how many people were involved in the Discord. We have a problem with wanting there to be more. We crave a conspiracy, and this is to be more than just a sick gay leftist. It isn't. That's my position, to be honest. Elated Echo says, for a baby costume, my wife already got our not quite here yet baby a bat costume. Oh, bat could be cute.
Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah, little bat. The
Wuhan bat. Make it a Dr. Fauci bat,
Yeah.
CIA bat.
It's a family costume.
Yeah.
Bat, Dr. Fauci in China.
D. Schwartz Krieg on YouTube says, don't ask the Mormons about most of their daughters becoming, quote, professional dancers. Yeah. Please text now that it's a state case. I think he probably could. Dillybot says, the deep state helped Genghis Khan take over all of Mongolia. Fact. Prove him wrong. Super Jones Bro says, Gary is creative, almighty, supreme, in name only. I don't know what that means. I have some viewer questions I wanted to get to from yesterday. Let's see. Action required from the EU. I don't have time to deal with that. Okay. I'm going to be doing a second stream later tonight, by the way. So stay tuned for that. I had questions here in the email.
You've been working a lot.
I know, dude. I'm gonna need a vacation.
You've been saying that for a while.
Well, I'm gonna take a vacation like in February. I'm gonna come to Florida. I'm gonna stay for like 2 weeks.
Boys trip, so cute.
Well, I'm not staying in his shithole.
You staying in the guest room?
I probably would for like a week, and then I probably like to I'll come down for 2 weeks, and then I'll bring my wife down.
Yeah. Well, I have a nice guest room, and we could do tactical training.
Well, that's for the boys, and then when my wife comes down, we're gonna go to the Keys.
Aw, so cute.
I'm inviting myself. I'm coming down too.
All right, cool. Yeah, you should. Morlock says, a member, I've been thinking about getting a dog, but I've never had one. I live in a small apartment, but I'm fairly active jogging and hiking. What's a good breed for a beginner like me? I don't want a little yappy dog. Something mid to large. A Labrador. I think a black lab or a yellow lab from a reputable breeder.
Golden labs are pretty good too.
Yeah, labs are perfect. They listen well. They're friendly. They don't make you look like, they're big enough so they're not like a little girly man dog. I'd recommend a lab or a lab mix. If you go to the Humane Society or something, and there's like a lab mix. I think those are always good.
German Shepherds are awesome, but they just need a lot of work. And,
I would not recommend that for your first dog.
Yeah, Golden Retriever makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Golden Retriever is good too. Here's some more. Oh, look at all these questions. Michael Haney says, Proverbs 8:36, which states in various translations, but he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that they hate me love death. All that hate me love death. This is the exact reason they mock the death of Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Alwyn says, what's your opinion on the crazies getting fired, possibly driven even crazier and doing even worse things? Well, I think I'm okay with that. I think that they probably if they're capable of that, losing their job probably wasn't going to make them any difference. And the last one here, Brandon says, I'm a firm believer. This also, when you become a member of the Discord, you get to submit this stuff to the show. I'm a firm believer that everything is connected. All the crimes our own CIA has committed on U.S. soil, when they are legally mandated only to act on foreign soil. In the aftermath of World War II, CIA Operation Gladio, designed to sow division in Italy, promote capitalism over socialism. It all feels like the same operations being run on the American people today. Then you have Operation Mockingbird, which the CIA offers posted at every mainstream media news outlet. We know that is true. That's been declassified, which was supposed to have been canceled after it was brought to light in the 70s. But any former CIA officer will tell you that operations never ended. They only changed names to keep going. With MK Ultra, we only found 20% of the documents. The 20% of documents we found wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Brandon. And yeah, the CIA never just stops. They just rename it. They open up their restaurant under a different name, you know? And with that, I want, why don't you let the people know where they can support you guys on your channels? And Hannah Claire, why don't you go first?
Sure. You guys can find my work on Rumble and YouTube. It's Hannah Claire B in both places. I do videos on news, some cultural analysis. I did a video this week on Charlie. I'll do something else later in the week. Again, thanks to all of you guys who already support it. It makes a huge difference to me as I continue to build and grow. If you want to follow me on X, I'm Hannah Claire B there. So yeah, thanks so much. Luke, where can they find you?
YouTube.com/WeAreChange. I'm going to be doing another deep dive video. I feel like today I definitely went into the weeds of the weeds. So very interesting, fascinating takes from everybody. I think we're seeing what people are made of, who they really are during these kind of troubling, trying times. And I think it's very telling. I think hopefully, I want to say I have optimism. I don't. but like, goodness gracious, like, we should still fight and try to have a good effort to try to bring everyone together. I think last week was a major wake-up call for a lot of us to just how serious a lot of this is. Life is precious. It needs to be protected. We need to de-radicalize. We need to de-escalate. We need to come together. And I'm happy I'm able to come together with you guys.
Wherever you're watching, all I ask is that you follow or subscribe. But I really am hoping that you go to thequartering.com/join and get in that Discord today. We need you in there. We need more people breaking stories. We need more people working to vet sources and things like that. I'm watching this Pennsylvania thing. Multiple officers have been wounded, but I don't know if we know anything. It could be a domestic violence thing. It could be, we don't know anything. Several police officers shot. I mean, it could be gang related. I don't know. We'll have to continue to monitor that. Sadly, people get shot every day, and this may not be part of a bigger thing. I mean, obviously still fucked. But I will keep an eye on it and hope that those officers survive. And everyone go say hi to CBC. CBCAmazon.com. Go there today, scoop up the tangerine and cherry for $5.99, or our summer flavors, Tiger's Blood, which is like watermelon, strawberry, coconut. It's really good. Or the blackberry cream, or any of our other standard flavors. Martin also says, I think Erica will oppose the death penalty. Well, I would forgive her for making an exception. I also am fine with him spending his life in prison too. I don't think the death penalty really deters anybody. I think I don't think history. That link wasn't working. What, CBCAmazon.com? It works.
CBC.amazon.com or CBC Amazon?
It's just CBC Amazon, and it should redirect to my Amazon store. All right. Is there a debate room for the Asians? Is there a room in this debate for the Asians? Sure. Asian Americans. All right. Well, with that, everyone go say hi to Viva, and we'll be back tomorrow.
For Astrocast. Hooray.
Yeah, for Astrocast. And we'll see you then. Bye, all.
Bye.
CBC Amazon. It works for me. CBCAmazon.com. Redirect's fine for me. So I don't know. All right. Well, thank you guys for